Hello, and welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Dana, and I'm joined by Matt. We've got a wide range of stories to cover, from politics and economy to entertainment and more. Let's dive right in.
Sounds good to me, Dana. I'm excited to explore these stories with you. What's our first topic?
Let's start with the recent drone strike on the United Arab Emirates nuclear power plant. The strike sparked a fire on its perimeter, but there were no reports of injuries or radiological release.
That's a significant incident. Do we know who was behind the drone strike?
No one has claimed responsibility yet, and the UAE hasn't blamed anyone directly. However, there have been recent tensions with Iran over the Strait of Hormuz.
The Strait of Hormuz is a critical waterway for global oil shipments. How does this incident affect the ongoing ceasefire between Iran and other involved parties?
The incident highlights the risk of renewed war and shows that the ceasefire remains tenuous. It's a concerning development in an already volatile region.
What are the potential implications if this strike is linked to Iran or its allies?
If linked to Iran, it could escalate tensions further and potentially disrupt global oil supplies. The international community would likely be very concerned about the stability of the region.
That makes sense. The last thing the global economy needs is another major conflict in the Middle East.
Exactly. Let's move on to our next story. Senator Bill Cassidy was defeated in the Louisiana Republican primary. He faced a challenge backed by former President Donald Trump.
Cassidy's defeat is interesting, especially given his vote to convict Trump during an impeachment trial. How did that factor into the primary outcome?
It seems that vote was a significant factor. Trump's backing for his opponents likely swayed many Republican voters in Louisiana.
Trump's influence within the Republican Party is still substantial, isn't it?
Yes, it is. His endorsement can make or break a candidate in primary elections, as we saw in Louisiana.
What happens next for the Republican Party in Louisiana?
The two Trump-backed candidates, Letlow and Fleming, are heading into a runoff. This will determine who represents the Republican Party in the next general election. Let's shift gears to Venezuela. The government there says it deported a close ally of Nicolas Maduro to face criminal proceedings in the U.S.
That's a surprising move. The ally in question, Alex Saab, was pardoned by President Joe Biden as part of a prisoner swap just a few years ago.
Exactly. This deportation marks a significant reversal. The Venezuelan government statement didn't explicitly say where Saab was deported from.
What are the potential implications of this deportation for U.S.-Venezuela relations?
It could signal a shift in Venezuela's cooperation with the U.S., at least on some issues. However, it's also possible this is an isolated incident.
The timing is interesting, coming after Saab's pardon. Do we know what criminal proceedings he's facing in the U.S.?
The reports mention several criminal investigations. The exact charges aren't specified, but they're likely related to his activities as a businessman with Maduro's government. Moving on, there's been a development regarding funding for Trump's planned White House ballroom. A Senate official removed security funding that could be used for the project.
That's a significant blow to the project. What was the reasoning behind this decision?
The decision was made by the Senate's parliamentarian, Elizabeth McDonald. It deals a blow to Republican efforts to use taxpayer money for the project.
Republicans were seeking to allocate $1 billion in public funds for security upgrades related to the ballroom plans.
Right. Trump had stated that private donors would fund the construction, but the security upgrades were a different matter.
How could this decision affect the larger spending package it's part of?
The removal of this specific funding doesn't necessarily jeopardize the entire package, but it does complicate the legislative process.
Complicated is an understatement when it comes to U.S. legislative processes.
Shifting to a different story, an Indian worker was killed and 3 others injured in a drone attack in the Moscow region.
That's a tragic incident. Do we know if this was a targeted attack or more of a random strike?
The reports suggest it was part of a large-scale Ukrainian drone raid on Moscow and the surrounding region.
What's the current state of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine?
The hostilities continue to escalate. This drone attack is just the latest in a series of incidents.
The Indian government must be concerned about the safety of its citizens working in Russia.
Yes, the Indian embassy is working with local authorities and the companies involved to assist the victims.
That's reassuring. Let's move on to some economic news.
There's been another hike in CNG prices in Delhi NCR. The price is now 80.09 rupees per kilogram in Delhi.
That's a significant increase, especially coming just 2 days after the last hike. The total rise is now 3 rupees in 48 hours.
What's driving these price hikes? The reports mention that the center recently increased petrol and diesel prices as well. It's likely related to global fuel price trends.
How do these price hikes affect the average commuter in Delhi NCR?
It adds to their fuel cost burden. CNG is a popular fuel for vehicles in that region, so the impact is widespread.
Let's discuss some business news.
Prudential is acquiring a 75% stake in Bharti Life Insurance for 3,500 crore.
That's a significant investment in India's life insurance sector. What are the implications for Prudential's operations in India?
This move marks a strategic reset for Prudential in India. They're securing majority control of Bharti Life Insurance.
How does this fit into the broader trends in India's insurance sector?
India's life insurance sector is witnessing rapid expansion due to digital adoption and increasing awareness around financial protection.
That's a great point. Digital adoption is changing the landscape of financial services in India.
Moving on, 9 of the top 10 valued firms in India lost 3.12 lakh crore in market capitalization recently.
That's a substantial loss. Which firms were most affected?
Reliance Industries faced the biggest erosion in market cap, followed by other major companies like SBI and TCS.
What were the factors contributing to this decline?
The reports mention tensions in West Asia, rupee weakness, and crude oil concerns as contributing factors.
Global economic factors often have a ripple effect on markets like India.
Let's talk about a potential major investment. BlackRock is considering investing $5 billion to $10 billion in SpaceX's IPO.
That's a massive potential investment. What does this say about the perceived value of SpaceX?
SpaceX is targeting a raise of about $75 billion at a valuation of roughly $1.7 trillion, making it potentially the largest stock market debut in history.
The scale is mind-boggling. What are the implications if BlackRock does invest at that level?
It would likely make BlackRock a major anchor investor in SpaceX, signaling strong confidence in the company's future prospects. Let's switch to sports. Manchester City beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final with a remarkable goal from Antoine Semenyo.
That was an exciting match. Semenyo's goal was quite audacious, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It was a brilliant backheel that sealed the win for Manchester City.
What's the significance of this win for Manchester City?
It's their 8th FA Cup title. The victory is a testament to their strong performance this season.
Chelsea must be disappointed after coming so close to winning.
Yes, it's a tough loss, but they'll look to regroup and come back stronger next season. Following up on that, Chelsea is close to appointing Xabi Alonso as their new manager on a 4-year deal.
Alonso is a highly respected coach. What are the expectations for his tenure at Chelsea?
He's expected to bring a new strategic approach to the team. Alonso's experience at clubs like Real Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen is a significant asset.
Chelsea has had a bit of a tumultuous season. Can Alonso help stabilize the team?
That's the hope. Alonso's appointment is seen as a positive step towards turning the team's season around.
Let's discuss some entertainment news.
Podcast host Alex Cooper announced she's expecting her first child with husband Matt Kaplan.
That's great news for the couple. Cooper is known for her popular Call Her Daddy podcast.
Her announcement was likely a big surprise to her fans. How did she share the news?
Cooper shared the news on her Instagram account, which is a great way to connect directly with her audience.
First-time parents often get a lot of attention and support. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. On a different entertainment note, Bulgaria won the 70th Eurovision Song Contest with Dara's song Bangaranga.
That's a historic win for Bulgaria. What were the reactions to the victory?
The win was seen as a surprise, as Bulgaria wasn't among the favorites. Dara's catchy song resonated with the audience.
Eurovision's always full of surprises. The UK finished last, which is a bit disappointing.
Yes, and the contest was marked by controversy, with several countries boycotting over Israel's participation.
Politics often intersects with entertainment in complex ways.
Let's touch on a different story. A Qantas flight was diverted after a passenger allegedly bit a flight attendant.
That's a serious incident. What happened to the passenger?
The man was restrained by fellow passengers and later banned from Qantas.
The flight was diverted to Tahiti. That's quite a significant detour.
Yes, it was a major disruption. The incident highlights the challenges airlines face in dealing with unruly passengers.
Air travel can be stressful enough without incidents like this.
Finally, there's been a recall issued for some organic ice cream sold in South Carolina due to potential metal contamination.
That's a concerning issue for consumers. Which company is involved in the recall?
Straus Strauss Family Creamery is recalling multiple organic ice cream products in pint and quart sizes.
What are they doing to address the issue?
Strauss is offering vouchers to affected customers that can be redeemed for replacement products.
That's a responsible approach. Consumer safety is paramount in situations like this.
As we've covered a wide range of stories today, I think that's a good place to wrap up. Thanks for discussing these news stories with me, Matt.
Thanks, Dana. It's been a pleasure exploring these diverse stories with you.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious. Goodbye.
Goodbye.